Hi, I'm Tor. This is Bonsai Calmness. Today I want to show you one of my birches. It's a pendula. So I wired this tree maybe 4 weeks ago because I wanted to see how it would look next year when it comes into leaf again. So normally I don't wire birches when they are in leaf, but it was necessary to do so I could see the branch structure. It's now 3 weeks later than the last clip you saw, and I just want to tell you that this tree here and the other one I found two seedlings not bigger than this branch here 6 years ago, and they were 2 years at that time. Then I planted them in this pot here, one tree in each pot with regular garden soil and a little bit of pumice. I will say that even though it's not bigger than this when it's a birch tree, this size of pot is not too big for it. Trust me, because in 2 years' time, this pot here is filled up with roots, so they grow very, very fast. I want to wire the last branches, small branches here on the tree today. I will not do it all on camera because it will take a little bit of time, but you can see I got a lot of small branches here I need to wire. I know it's a little bit difficult to see what's going on here, but I will start to wire this and this branch here. And I must admit that I don't follow those rules with not putting wire over another wire, because it makes it very difficult for me to not do that. But it doesn't matter because it works anyway, and I always take my wire off in spring. So I always wire my trees in autumn, and always take my wires off in spring before the branches start to grow too much. Then I can avoid any wire biting into branches. I must admit I'm looking forward to see how this will turn out next year. So it's now 15 minutes later. I plucked a lot of the yellow leaves off, so I better can see. And to wire a birch tree, I must admit that it's pretty time consuming, but that's how it is. There's so many small branches, but I think it will be worth it next year when most of the branches is placed correctly or as I want them to be. They tend to grow, these small branches, they tend to grow like a triangle away from the main branch, and I want them to drop down like this. And it's because in nature where the trees get big, the branches grow very, very long before they drop. So I have to mimic the big trees into this smaller tree here. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. I made this on purpose, so because I really want to see the trunk and many of the branches of the tree. But later on, when I begin to form the crown, and I will do that next year, I will have some branches drop down here anyway, but not all the way, because I really, really want to see the structure of the tree. So I will just keep those branches that will drop from the top here and down. I will keep them shorter and see how that turns out. I don't know, I don't have any experience with making a birch tree into a bonsai, so it's all new for me. But I think it turned out pretty good so far. I'm working on getting some kind of a back screen so you better can see what's going on, because I can see on the camera it's a little bit difficult to see. So that's how it turned out with the wiring now. I hope you can see what's going on. Earlier I talked about my soil, and I use organic soil, for not only the birch tree here, but I actually use it for all my bonsai trees. My mixture is 35% percent academia, 35% pumice, and 30% organic soil. I think there's a big misconception in the bonsai world not using organic soil, because all young trees, if we are talking deciduous trees, they actually love organic soil because there is a lot of nutrients in organic soil. And I have been doing this for only 6 years, but all my trees, they thrive in this organic soil. As long as you have good drainage in your pots, you will never get any root rot. I have never heard anybody have root rot on their trees, and I follow a lot of bonsai channels. I have never heard anybody who knows anybody who had root rot on any of their trees. So that's not a good argument that if you use organic soil, you will automatically get root rot on your trees. That's simply not true. I really love to use organic soil because it takes a lot of stress off my of my mind, because I don't have to stress about watering all the time when it's very hot in the summer. So it gives me a lot of freedom. I would really recommend people out there to start up from scratch with the birch trees, because they grow so fast, and when you have a little seedling 1 or 2 years old, you can control what's happening with the root base.